everyone and welcome back to Rachel's Enchanting Cakes. Now for today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make this super cute unicorn cake topper. It's completely edible and perfect for the beginner baker. I use very basic shapes and limited amounts of equipment to make this. As always, everything you need to know in a simple step-by-step format. Let's make a start. Using Saracino modelling paste, you want to start by weighing out 50 grams. This is for the unicorn's body. Simply roll this into a cone-like shape first, and then you want it more pointed at the top. If you can see how I'm shaping it here, the pointed part at the top that goes in slightly is going to be our unicorn's neck. Just keep on shaping this until you're happy with it. Before you leave this to set, apply a piece of spaghetti directly through the centre. This will support the unicorn's head. Spaghetti can be used in edible sugarwork. For our unicorn's front legs, take 14 grams of Saracino modelling paste. Start by rolling this into a sausage shape and cutting it in half, and then each piece simply roll into a cone. Because you have used this method, both legs will be exactly the same size. Taking 2 small balls of yellow fondant, I simply push these down, add some edible glue and place them on the base of each of the unicorn's legs. I will be painting these later. Using some edible glue, simply apply these directly to the front of the unicorn, leaving some room in the middle. And then finally, using a cocktail stick, add a simple indentation onto each of the legs. This part can easily be left out. However, if you do have a heart cutter of any kind, simply apply a pink heart using some edible glue directly to the unicorn's belly. I have used a heart plunger cutter. For the unicorn's head, again I weigh out 50 grams. You want to start with a ball shape and then simply push down with your fingers just like I have here. This is where the eyes are going to go. Whilst the Saracino is still soft, you want to then pinch it. This will create the nose. Now you can smooth it out with your fingers because it is soft. And once you have done this, using a simple ball tool, just add 2 indentations for the nostrils. If you are confident enough and comfortable enough, you can then go around this with either a cocktail stick or a Dresden tool. Again, keeping it simple, for the mouth I use a piping nozzle. It creates the perfect smiley face. And then if you have a ball tool, simply add an indentation at either side just to give it a bit more definition. I then use a ball tool to create the sockets where the eyes are going to go, but I make it slightly larger as I want my unicorn to have beautiful large eyes. Now the eyes are very important. If you don't get them right, it throws it all out and it doesn't look half as good as it could. So you want to add some black fondant in each socket of the eyes here. This is going to give a rim on the outside of each eye. Take your time doing this, and I just use the ball tool to push it up the side. I then add a ball of white fondant to the centre of each of the sockets. Now this one wants to be a lot deeper and come all the way to the top, but here you're trying to achieve keeping that black rim just around the outside. Now you want to add 2 very small balls of black fondant directly onto the white and push this down so it just blends in. And for the last finishing touch, you want to add a very, very, very small ball of white, and I just use the ball tool to push this down. I can't express how small these need to be, but look how it's already coming to life. Using a very fine brush and some black edible paint, if you are comfortable doing this, simply paint on some eyelashes and a couple of eyebrows. Obviously you would repeat this for the other side. If you have any edible dusts in your collection and you're comfortable doing this, I add a little bit of pink dust just to the cheeks, and then using some edible glue, simply place this directly on top of the body before carefully placing on your unicorn's head. Using 14 grams of Saracino modelling paste, I then simply repeat the same process I did for the front legs, but this time for the back. As you can see, I'm rolling them both into cone-like shapes and keep on checking that they are the correct size by placing them onto my sugar figure. I then simply stick these on with some edible glue and shape them into place, before repeating what I did earlier for the front of my unicorn's legs, and simply rolled out 2 yellow ball shapes and placed them directly on the feet. For the horn, simply roll a cone-like shape and keep on adding it to the model. You want it quite pointy. Using a cocktail stick, add a few indentations before applying some spaghetti directly through the centre of the horn, and this will just help support it once we place it on the unicorn's head. So you don't accidentally damage the horn, use some spaghetti and place a hole directly in the top of the head first, and then just apply some edible glue and place the horn in very, very gently. For the ears, take a ball of white Saracino modelling paste and push this down, and then simply add a ball tool to the centre before adding some yellow. Cut this in half, and then you simply want to pinch these at either end. Using a small amount of edible glue, simply position these at either side of the horn on your unicorn's head. For the unicorn's hair, I simply roll out cone-like shapes. You want them thinner at one end, thicker at the other. And if you colour some Saracino, you'll also be able to twist it and simply apply with some edible glue. Now for that stunning gold paint, I have used a Fay Carl completely edible luster dust. You then mix this with some dipping solution to make an edible paint. This will be edible once the paint is completely dry, and it will dry faster due to using the dipping solution. Simply paint all of the yellow parts on your unicorn, being very, very careful not to accidentally get any on the white. How simple and easy was that, and this is the finished result. Now at the beginning of this tutorial, you will have noticed that I placed my unicorn directly on a decorated cake drum. You would then simply place some cake dowels underneath just in order to support the cake. It's an excellent idea for so many different celebration cakes. If it's a first birthday cake, it just means the parents are able to actually keep these unicorns to one side, because it's sugar, it will literally keep forever. Happy baking, everyone. I really do hope I've helped you again today, and as always, I will be back soon with an awful lot more new, completely free content.